Today I'm going to talk about how we can go outside the Jira data and maybe add a lot of different data sources that maybe might not even come from the systems. Maybe they come from devices, maybe they come from machines. So let's look at the example of one project we did recently. I don't think this is working. Is it working? Yeah. So yeah, Flex.bi is a platform which is built on eazyBI basis. It works on the same engine, but we add more of a business analytics context to it. We integrate with ERP systems, with different CRM systems, so to be able to deliver analytics for business processes like sales, stock, purchasing, also issue tracking that comes together. And yeah, so we like to push borders of eazyBI a lot. I think that's one of our hobbies. Today, it's three of us here. Mix Valers, which I think is somewhere on the back there, hello, which is one of our programmers, and also the main integration and data mixing and hypercube building. It's his specialty. Anything new, he's already like on it today. just mention it to him. Guido is here in the front, and he's our academy trainer and also works with the partner examination and yeah, different trainings, and MDX is his specialty. And I'm the CEO of the company and also lecturer and business analyst on my daily basis. So I work mainly with the business owners to help them to get the answers to their simple questions from the technical word that they mostly don't understand. Yeah, so come to meet us after or in between the sessions, just say hi or ask any question. Yeah, so I said already that we like to push the borders about experimenting, and we did it with eazyBI, and also this is one of examples of how experiments can go. I was playing with a AI app generating pictures for LinkedIn, and this is one of like pictures that got me curious why he thought that I need to look like that. But I also got some quite decent pictures that I'm actually using on my LinkedIn at the moment. And it just says that playing with new technologies, it's fun, and you can get some things that you can actually use, you can turn into new product or just a new thing that you add to your as a service or things like that. Yeah, I encourage you to try new things. Today's project that I will tell about will be also about trying something new and experimenting. So searching for a missing piece, it's mainly what we do with businesses when we meet them, and we always have to find where is that crucial answer that is the most important for their business. It can be in Jira data, it can be in other data, but business owners, to be honest, they don't really care which data it is. Yeah, so for them, it's just some kind of answer they're looking for. So there are tricky questions about good and bad. Are we good? Are we bad? Are we performing well? What is our future like? How our customers behave based on actions that we make. Yeah, so different complex questions that the details of them are hidden somewhere in very different data sources. So yeah, we try to find this missing piece. This is our Flex.bi's space of data where there are different planets. One of them is Jira. And there's also our ERP system and Confluence that we use. And we are very happy that all of that is integrated and we can analyze all of that with eazyBI. And we are very lucky, but not all of businesses have that luck. So we want to deliver more and more that option that eazyBI can be used for analyzing different data and different data sources. Yeah, where it becomes important and when it becomes important. It's important, the company goes through different stages, and when the business starts, it's all about producing product. Then they move to the stage when we sell more, we faster try to repeat what we are good at. And then we get at the prime stage where, or even is faster, when we try to understand how it all works together. So the integration of all the data, of all the processes that work. And this is the moment where it's very important to integrate and have this overview of all of it together in the same language and in the same overview, and maybe it's even in the same dashboard. Yeah, what is the component of the big picture components? So the process data, yeah, so like Jira, for example, the business metrics, which like turnover and sales and stock data. Then there's some business-specific context that maybe only business owners know or employees know, or maybe some specific measure that, or something that happens in the world that affects them more or something that affects them less, like weather, for example, also that I'll be using in my example today. And the technical data. So technical data can come from devices, it can come from logistics centrals, it can come from sensors, it can come from machines, it can come from call centrals as well. Yeah, so different technical information that we can also connect to the eazyBI. We actually analyzed our cloud service accounts to understand how many sources do they use in their accounts, as we have as well like a shared server where many companies analyze the data. So what we found out is that many of them have one, which is mostly the ERP system. So it shows like a basic analytics overview of sales, and then there's some also stock information or CRM. And then there's, but a big part of them has a lot of different sources as well. So 27% use Google Sheets, like to add something they need to add. Yeah, but there are also 4 to 5 is also not unusual that there's 4 to 5 systems. Of course, this is for cloud. For bigger, for private, eazyBI private, it's very typical that it's many sources. It's mostly always, yeah. So so it really shows that adding something on top, it just really gives this overview, and yeah, we can recommend it to the customers. Sometimes they even don't think about it that it's possible, but we can say, hey, maybe let's add it from the Google Sheet, and or maybe add it from other data source. Yeah, so yeah, that's a option to think about. So today I'm going to show you more in detail one of the projects that we did last year. And it's called Wash AI. It was a random name that I had to generate very fast, so Wash AI it is. It's actually an experiment, and it was powered by European Union Hubs for Data grant. It's like a big project that runs over Europe that you can apply for different crazy ideas that you want to do with data. And and then you do partnership together with different hubs to deliver the solution. When we did the partnership with Sinica, which is Italian company, and we did the project for Puto, which is the customer that we did the project for. So the Puto is a car wash self-service car wash company, and they have 18 locations in Latvia. And they're not like a huge company, but like most of the 98% of the companies in Latvia, it's a small, middle-sized enterprise. And the problem with them was that I couldn't sell them the project with only data from ERP, from financials. It was just not enough value for them. So why was that? Because yes, financials is great. We see how money comes in and goes, but there was no information about crucial KPIs like customer flow. There was no information about customer habits. There was no information about weather. Yeah, so there was what we found out with them, that weather really affects them. Weather is something that who washes the car when it's winter like that, and which minus is the critical value that affects them the most. So then we got to this business, and when I heard about this project, I thought, well, it sounds like we can use some tools with this company. So the project call, the idea of it was to apply AI and machine learning technologies for small middle segment to create like usable solutions that would benefit them and also that could be reused for other businesses. So we got from Latvia there was 18 applications and we were selected. So we participated in this project. The main problems and the goals that we wanted to achieve is to firstly to calculate the customer flow. Then the problem was that there was no information about that, so we have to figure out how do we get those get this data. Then understanding how the weather affects the revenues, how it affects the activity of the customers. But yeah, we were thinking about the machine learning module that we could analyze the historical transactions, and then we could get some interesting insights. Then integrate, the main, I think, the challenge was how to integrate it all in eazyBI and Flex.bi platform to get all data in one dashboard. Yeah, so that was something that was very challenging for us. The data that we had was financial data, and then we decided to select for weather forecast visual crossing platform, which offers information about weather, historical values, and also prediction values. Then we connected to we didn't have the information, but we decided that we could connect to the washing units to see the transactions. Yeah, because in self-service, they get information of how many coins were put in, but there's no information about the customer, like how many coins did he put in. Yeah, so, and then the customer flow and demography, we use the V-count sensors, the sensors that count people, and they also analyze the gender and the age of persons attending. So in this project, so we have this machine learning component to predict the weather impact on results. And then we had this component of AI that analyzes the customer flow. And also the one crucial thing that we knew at the very beginning that affects the results is the holidays data that we had. So we had to put the source data sets together. So here you can see how it all looks together. So in this company, their data space actually consists of all these components. So it's financial data for them was the smallest part. So, and that's why we were thinking how to put it all together. The project was 9 months long, and we started in February last year. And of course, there was some moving this and that side with how the sensors were installed and how it all was we were handling it. For example, one of the sensors froze when it was too cold and there was a lot of water on it, so we couldn't get the data out of it, and then we had to replace it and order a new one. So different technical things, but still it gave us a good practice of how to gather the data from very different sources. In parallel, we worked with Latvian Riga Technical University machine learning specialists to develop the model that could analyze the weather context together with revenues, how it all impacts each other. And then in parallel of that, our technical team was integrating all of this data together so we could have it in one dashboard. The sensors, the technical solution for them was there was a REST API possible for proof of concept where we decided to go for files and script. We only added measures to existing data cubes. We chose vCount because it allows to calibrate it for 99% precision. And there are 2 separate sensors for customer flow and demographic sensors that we actually didn't know when we applied for it. So there was also a bit of a issue with that. Then what we got the results, we also had them in dashboards, and with the gender guessing, there was a bit of an issue that nowadays it's quite hard to guess the gender because there are many of them. But we stick to the men and women, female and male options only. But yeah, there was no surprises that most of the men are the ones who use the car wash. But at least we have this data available for the customer now in his dashboards. Then. Yeah, for weather forecasts, we used the REST API approach, and we added new measures, and we used the custom Flex.bi custom fields, which is a little bit different from eazyBI custom fields, like a mix of mapping and custom field function together, which allows also to create new dimensions and other things. And yeah, we added the weather context and attached it to the existing dimensions already, like time and others. And yeah, historical data and also the future forecasts were added and imported daily. So now the customer can see what weather is predicted by location. Yeah, because it's very important to see by location, because locations have different weather and the results are affected in a very different way. Also, when we got the customer flow and we got the weather, we could start to make also conclusions about together how customer flow changes. If we look at from rain and also from sun, so just like a simple analytics of this process that we could do, which was very important for customer because even there's no magic involved there. It's for them when they explain to the board what the results of that we have achieved, they have to measure somehow if it's good or bad result. Because sometimes if it's rain, maybe it's a good for a rainy day. Maybe it's a very good result, even if we haven't reached the target. Yeah, because people tend to act the way they act when it's raining, but still we can have a good numbers also there. So it is something that customer finds really also useful now when he's just explaining his own numbers also historically to understand if it was good or bad result. So the main KPIs and also why we did all this project was because, as I said, they couldn't calculate the basic KPIs. I just did an overview of them. These are not real numbers, but still it's, yeah. So customer flow, now they know how many customers are approaching the stations, what is the maximum, minimum, average numbers per day, what transactions they do, also what is the transaction amount, what is the which is the maximum day, what was the weather on that particular day, and it gives like a cross overview, and yeah, so they can just make decisions and analyze and understand what happened historically much better. Yeah, the last part that we did, which was very new for us, was the model and prediction model, and the first idea was to build like a model which is transparent and to have like a decision tree, but then we soon realized that it's not something we could use because the precision that we can see here approximately how the model is making decisions, but it was not precise enough. Also for data quality, we understood that actually the small and middle-sized businesses have too little data to apply these technologies because there was an issue that only data starting point for one particular date was usable because customer changed his pricing model. So all the transactions that were done before we couldn't use, and there was a lack of these transactions. Even there was millions of them, it was not enough. Of course, you can retrain the model after, but it's still like we had to switch to the black box version. So we got the 85% precision with the black box model and with many these networks making decision and predicting. What we did is we predicted exact number of transactions, exact number of turnover. So you could actually, which was useful. The model doesn't give the result like that, but you can work with the numbers to recalculate to the normal human understandable values. And what we got to the customer is a transaction prediction and turnover prediction, which is something that they could understand. Yeah, because there's no use of them to have some mystical model that does some magical things if they can't use them. So we added this in also our dashboards, and the interesting part was to analyze the precision of predictions. So how they are to tune this process. Yeah, so it was also interesting thing to do. How about the technical solution behind it? I think this is the most interesting one. The model is separated from Flex.bi or eazyBI server, and it has a separate instance where the model is located. And the process is done like that when the Flex.bi requests information about the weather, it's in parallel sent to this separate microservice that calculates the prediction and sends it back. So there's no actual value stored on the model. We just recalculate it ongoing by receiving the new data. And yeah, we use the custom fields and measure import in the Hypercube. And at the end, we got all the data in one place. So the customer has things in one dashboard. Conclusions. Yeah, what we faced is that most of the small and middle-sized enterprises have little data to use for machine learning modules, but like sensors or different other technologies that come now, it's all available to everyone, so you still can benefit from the technology. So results, three main results. The customer got inspired, and actually they installed different type of sensors, which counts the cars, and it gave them idea to what makes sense for them more. And then they also purchased the solution. So now they are our customer and using analytics. And for us, the main benefit is we could develop this idea and this concept in general about microservice and data enrichment module concept that we could add some little other data sets to the main set that we have usually from ERP system. And then there are other engines and other ways how you can enrich the core of the data that you have. So yeah, I encourage you to be brave and explore, and as eazyBI says, make complex things possible. Yeah, thank you, and have a good lunch.